Hi everyone, it's me, Willow, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a fun video for you guys. It's my movie review for Honey Don't, which is the newest film from Ethan Coen and Tricia Cooke. They have been collaborators on Drive Away Dolls, which came out last year, and this is their second installment in their lesbian road trip franchise that they're doing. There's supposed to be three installments of it. Drive Away Dolls, and then Honey Don't is the second one. So I went and saw this yesterday in the theaters and I had a fun time with this. I got this fan back at Toronto Pride in June, and it was such a lightsaver for the event because it was so hot out and great advertisement. And now I have it for my video, so I love it. So I was part of the minority who really enjoyed Drive Away Dolls when it came out last year. I went and saw it in the theaters and I really loved Margaret and Geraldine in it. I thought they did great with their little like friendship, love story, kind of like Thelma and Louise. I thought Coleman Domingo was great in his small role as well. I thought Pedro Pascal, Matt Damon did well as too. So I really did enjoy that film. I understand why people didn't love it because there were definitely things that I would critique about it, but I still thought it was really fun and it was like a movie right up my alley. So I was super pumped when the second installment of Ethan and Tricia's series was coming out this year, and I saw the trailers. I love Aubrey Plaza and Margaret was back, and I was definitely really excited for this one. Unfortunately, I would have to rank it below Drive Away Dolls. I didn't love it as much as Drive Away Dolls. Didn't have as much fun with it, unfortunately, either. I've been hearing pretty mixed reviews about it. Some people really did not like it at all, didn't see like much good out of the film. I definitely think there are quite a few good moments in it. I think all of the performances are pretty top notch as well. They're giving us what we want from this type of genre film. So I really did enjoy the performances in Honey Don't. And I think it was just more of the pacing for myself that I kind of got confused a bit. I felt like not enough was happening, even though it was a pretty short film, but then a lot was happening, if that makes sense. So I the good things, let's point those out first. So I really love the performances, like I mentioned. I think Chris Evans definitely stands out as one of my favorite performances in the film. I think his Reverend Drew character is really funny, really on the nose, and these are the type of performances I really love from Chris Evans. I'm a big fan of his Captain America, Steve Rogers whole stick with the MCU. But, Johnny Storm, that kind of narcissistic character, and even his character in Knives Out, I really love when Chris Evans can kind of be that like asshole character, and he's definitely that in this film. I think he's great, and I think they could have even like evolved with him a little bit more and everything that was happening with the French, and then the French female character that he talks with share. I would have liked if they maybe like developed a little bit more of that storyline. I know that was kind of supposed to be like a diversion. You weren't really supposed to know that the French are actually not involved at all. You're trying to think the French are going to be involved and come into the film at some point. So I would have liked if they maybe did a little bit more with Reverend Drew, or even like with all the hits that he does, like with his like they imply that he has some sort of like substance drug that he like puts out in his community, or he's doing some sort of like cult like activity in his church. So it would have been great if they explored a bit more with that, because I think Chris Evans could have definitely stuck the landing with that. I would have loved if we explored a bit more of Aubrey Plaza's MJ too. I feel like she was very limited in the film, but the scenes that she did have, she stood out great. Specifically, the one scene with her and Margaret in bed, and they're like having a conversation about her father in the military. I thought that was a great scene from her. And also like at the end when there's like the big reveal with Aubrey Plaza's character, I really liked her whole thing there, because I love when Aubrey just gets to go so unhinged with her characters. So I thought that was a great scene as well. I really think Margaret Qualley makes her Honey Don't character her own. I think this could be a really interesting series, maybe, if they wanted to do it in the future. Obviously, Honey Don't and Driveway Dolls are like standalone films. They don't tie into each other. So it'd be cool if maybe they wanted to do like the third. I don't think the third film has anything to do with the other previous ones because I'm pretty sure I've heard a little bit about it already. But I think the Honey Don't character is really interesting and could be a cool private, like, private detective, private investigator character that they could do more films on. I'd be pretty interested in it. So yeah, I really liked the performances. Charlie Day's also in this as like a comedic little side performance, and I think his whole running gag with Margaret Qualley was pretty funny. Like he always hits on her and is really really wants to go on a date with her, and he's trying to keep like the professional boundaries there in some aspects, or he's trying to seem like he does because they work together. And Honey always tells Charlie Day's character, I like girls, and he just doesn't believe her, and it's a running gag, and it's actually pretty funny with how Charlie and Margaret play it off. Usually that stuff I don't think is that funny, but I liked it. I thought it worked pretty well. And I really like the costumes and the stylization of the film too. It has that um, kind of like Midwest vibe. It's very like vintage feeling too, kind of desolate. I like it, but it's set in 2025. So that's one of the criticisms I have, is that I thought it was kind of off. Like it felt very vintage, but it was like 2025, 2024 was when the film was set. So that threw me off just a little bit with like, I think some of the technology and with how they were talking about some things versus how the film looked. So that would be another mild criticism that I had of it. But overall, I just don't think like the ending really stuck the landing and the pacing. I just think it was kind of maybe just a little bit all over the place. Um, but I don't think it was like necessarily like a bad movie. I just don't think it really sticks the landing, unfortunately. With Drive Away Dolls, I thought it was a lot of fun, the whole like adventure aspect, and like wondering what is in the trunk the entire time, and then it's revealed to be the dildo mold. Like I thought that was so perfect, and people thought that was silly and goofy, and that's why I liked it so much, was that it was just something you would not have expected but fits so perfectly with the plot and like the energy of the film. Whereas this one, the kind of trying to figure out like who did this murder of this woman in the beginning. Was it an accident? Was it a murder? And they were trying to figure out if like the church has anything to do with it, or the French. It kind of, it didn't have the same like va va voom as Drive Away Dolls a Mystery, in my opinion. So yeah, I think I would watch it again because I really did enjoy like all of the women loving women scenes. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they were very well choreographed. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Aubrey Plaza. She's always been one of my girl crushes. So seeing her in this film, we get to see a little frontal nudity. So I thought that was like interesting as well. I'm always pleasantly surprised when I get to see a little frontal nudity, but I thought it was, yeah, it was great. I really did love those scenes. Those would have to be like my favorite ones, of course. Those are obviously why I went for the film. So like what can I say? I think that's why everybody was there. I'm looking in the audience. I'm going to like a 2:30 showing, and I look in the crowd and I'm like, there's a lot of straight seeming people here, but I don't know. I guess I could appear straight leaning too, right? So I just, there was a lot of men in the audience, and I was like, okay, I know what they're coming for. The same thing I'm coming for. So yeah, I really loved those scenes. I thought they were great. I think Ethan and Tricia do a great job of not like fetishizing the scenes either. So I think they're shot very beautifully, and from the female perspective, I don't think they are too male centric in my opinion, with a male director at the helm. It is through a male's lens, but I feel like him and Tricia do a good job of collaborating, and with their cinematographer they're able to make it like a beautiful and romantic scene but like sexy at the same time. So I really enjoyed those scenes. Also, like at the beginning of the film with Cher's character, we have a gorgeous shot of her in the water, so love that scene too. Like, that's right at the beginning of the film. I thought that was, bold and interesting. I would say like maybe that was a little male centric, but like I was enjoying it. Like I thought it was very artistic. So, um and it wasn't like fully focused on like her breast area or her genital area. It was kind of focused on her whole body and the sensual nature of her in the water. So kind of like a middle ground with that scene. But all the other ones worked very well, and I really like how they play with Honey's character and her sexuality. I think it's great. These are just films that I wish people would make more often. Like who like come on. Who is doing this these days? Like nobody is just making original scripts these days, like a lesbian road trip movie. No. Who's making them? No. Like not the one of the Coen brothers, but apparently that's what he wants to do with his time, and I appreciate it. This is the type of film that I appreciate being made. And even if it's not like a 5 out of 5, I gave it a 3, I believe. I would say it's like a 2.5, a 3 out of 5 for me. Like, I don't know if it's fully a 3, but I did have like lots of fun with it. And like I said, I would watch it again because it's pretty easy watch. There's definitely scenes I would watch again, and it's short and sweet, and everything does kind of wrap up in the end. So yeah, I just think they could have done more with it. I think that's my main criticism, is that the pacing's a little off, and I think they could have done a bit more. Maybe if they added like maybe like 20, 30 more minutes, did a little more draft, try to add a couple more things in to do with the plot mystery, I think it would have elevated the film a bit more. So I think that's the only big thing that I would say about the film, is that I think they could have added a bit more, beefed the film up a bit, and then maybe overall my enjoyment would have been leveled up a bit. So yeah, Honey Don't is definitely a film I would suggest people to go watch if you want to have a fun time. It's definitely like an easy watch, maybe one you'd want to go see with your friends. There is like adult content in it, like I've mentioned previously in this review. So if you're a little uncomfortable with those type of scenes, maybe don't go see it with your family or something. But I think with your significant other or a group of friends, it'd be really fun to go see. Or by yourself. I went and saw it by myself and had a great time. So, yeah, definitely one to see on the big screen because you get to see everything on the big screen. So it was awesome. But I think I'll definitely watch it on streaming later. Hopefully, it goes on Prime. Drive Away Dolls is on Prime. So it'd be great if this one goes on Prime in a couple months, and then I can do like a double watch of Drive Away Dolls and then Honey Don't. But if you've got to see Honey Don't over the weekend, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts about the lesbian road trip movie that we have from Coen and Cooke. The third one is going to come out hopefully in 2026. I'm not sure if they've released a date for when it's supposed to come out, but yeah, I'm really excited. Again, go check out my Driveway Dolls review if you haven't seen it. It's in the description box below. If you enjoyed the review, please give me a like because they really do help with my engagement and help to push the video out more for other people to see. If you want to see me on more social media platforms with pop culture and movie content, go follow me on TikTok. I post there every single day, multiple times a day, with various pop culture content from films, movie, TV, theater, all that type of stuff. I post all that type of content on TikTok and here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and Letterboxd, and also on Awards Expert. All that information is in the description box below. So feel free to go check me out on all those other content accounts. And please give me a subscribe here on YouTube so you can continue to follow me with all my movie reviews and pop culture content. I'm going to TIFF in less than 2 weeks, guys. So we're about to have a lot of TIFF content coming out, a bunch of early movie reviews for movies that are coming out later in the year. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you see when I post. I'm trying to post multiple times a week, at least 1 to 2 videos a week, usually more. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.